Hi, my name is Chris. Today I'm going to be doing Leetcode problem 806, number of lines to write string. We're solving it with JavaScript. This is an easy problem, or I should say labeled easy. You are given a string S of lowercase English letters and an array widths denoting how many pixels wide each lowercase English letter is. Specifically, widths at 0 is the width of A, widths at 1 is the width of B, and so on. Okay, let's just stop here. Just to explain this, so you're going to be given a widths array, right? And the widths array is always going to be 26 numbers, okay? So first number is A, second is B, third is C, fourth is D, fifth is E, so on and so forth, until you get to the final one, which is C. So it's just all the letters of the alphabet in order, okay? So you're trying to write S across several lines where each line is no longer than 100 pixels. Starting at the beginning of S, write as many letters in the first line such that the total width does not exceed 100 pixels. Then from where you stopped in S, continue writing as many letters as you can on the second line. Continue this process until you have written all of S. Return an array result of length 2, where result at 0 is the total number of lines, result at 1 is the width of the last line in pixels. Okay. So let's discuss this. Or we'll look at the examples and hopefully that'll clear things up. But so if you look at this array of widths, they're all 10, right? So it just makes sense that the first 10 letters, I think that goes up to H, right? Maybe. So the first 10 letters, that's going to equal 100. That's going to be your first line. The next 10 letters, again, is going to equal 100 because they're all 10, so that's your second line. And then your third line, you have 6 letters left over, so it'll be 60 pixels wide. So we have a total of 3 lines, and the last line is only 60 pixels. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's look at this one. So this one explains it a little bit further, I think. Only issue is now A is going to be 4, right? So all letters are 10 except for A, which is 4. Okay, we see these 3 A's at the end. So let's see how many 10s we got. We got 3, 6, 9 10s, right? So 90 10s. So we're up to 90 at D, and then we've got 3 4s, right? So this would be 94, 98, and then 102, right? So our line cannot go, a line cannot have more than 100, right? So that means once we get to 98, this A is going to start the next line, right? And so the last line, because A is 4, is just going to have 4, right? So this means we have 2 lines, and the last line is going to be 4. We have a width of 4. So hopefully this all makes sense. I think it makes the most sense to grab this one. We need both of these, sorry. So I'm going to copy both of these. We're going to head on over to Leetcode, or sorry, CodePen. Alright, so there's our 2 variables. Excuse me. Here's our function. Let's log the function in the console. Okay. So we're going to create two variables in here. First is going to be count. We're going to set that to 0. And then let lines equal 1. Why 1? Because, yes, so S is always going to have at least one character. So that means we're always going to have at least one line. So we can just start with that. And then at the end, they're asking for the number of lines, count. So that's what we're returning. Yep, now we see 1, 0 in the console. Okay. So how do we do this? Well, first thing is we need to solve this in kind of two different steps. The first is we need to get the value or the width of each one of these characters, right? So how do we do that? So every time we go to B, this needs to be 1 because B is at index 1, and then C is going to be at index 2, and D is going to be at index 3, and then A is going to be at index 0. So A 0, B 1, C 2, D 3, right? So how can we get that? Well, we can use car code, right? So let me show you how we're going to do this, and I'm just going to say I'm just going to set that to A. This isn't part of the solution to the algorithm. I'm just showing you how car code works and how we can use it in this example. So there's our string, and then we're going to say let. We're going to say car equals A dot car code at 0. Okay, so what we're saying is for our string A, we want to get the character code at index 0, right? There's only one letter, so index 0. So if we return car, you get 97. That's its character code. Okay, let's look at B. Oh, yeah, that's fine. 98. Yep, so it's just going up by 1, right? 99. D. 100. Cool. So if we set this back to A, we got 97. So we want A to equal 0. So all we got to do here is just subtract 97. And now we see 0. So now, if let's say we return widths at car, we're going to get 4. Yep. Right? Because so now that's how we can now we can loop through S and assign car to each letter, and that will give us the value at widths, right? So let's do that. Get rid of this. We're going to say for let I equal 0. If I is less than s dot length I plus plus. We're going to take this. We're going to put it in here. Excuse me. And then we need S, not A. Not car. These cars. Okay, right. Cool. So we're not going to be able to get car because we're defining it in the for loop, right? So let's set this back to what we had in for lines count. So now if we console.log car. Oh, this needs to be I. Sorry about that. Cool. So we see 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 0, 0, right? That's what we want. Okay. So every time that we go through this loop, what we want to do is we want to add to count widths at car. What did I do here? Oh. Sorry. Straight brackets. Right, so now we get 102. So now we're getting the values of all the letters added, right? But we can't have a line that exceeds 100 width. So we need to do an if check and say if count is greater than 100, we increment lines, and then we set count to widths at car. There you go. Now we got 2 and 4. All right, and that's all there is to it. Now let's make sure it works in Leetcode. Let's run the tests. Cool. Let's submit it. And we're all set. Cool. Hopefully you found this video helpful and enjoyable. If you did, please like it. It helps my channel grow. If you'd like to see more like this, more like these videos, or CSS battle videos, another thing that I have on my channel, please like and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you again real soon.